Welcome back to Sailing Catalpa. Coming up, we tackle the job of sanding back the hull, and Dad finds a way that saves us a lot of time.
We are an Australian family that set off on an adventure of a lifetime. We hope these little videos make you smile and inspire you to chase your dreams.
Subscribe to join us and our travels as we share our life on the sea.
I am in the Airbnb today. I've stayed behind and I'm doing some editing and catching up on things, and I'm sitting in the air conditioning and they are sweating and working really hard, scraping back the hull on Catalpa. So let's go see what they're up to.
It's sanding time, people. Yesterday we wet rubbed the bottom of the boat and today we're electric sanding it. So I get this awesome little suit here so I don't get all dusty, a mask, and yeah. It's like 1 o'clock, so we're gonna head back to the Airbnb place for some lunch. It's so nice to have like a place with aircon and eat and sleep there, and then the boat's just for working, so it like separates our life from work and not working, because otherwise it just feels like we're just working and it's just a mess. And yeah.
You've had all the protective gear on, mate, and how come you still look like a smurf?
Do I?
On our way back to get some more lunch. Mum's there and she's made us lunch. The pike can't go up the hill with both of us on there, so I have to run up this hill.
The Smurfs are back. Here comes the other two. Oh, they got my Instapot.
It's hot, baby, it's hot.
Oh my god, I ran up the hill.
How was the boat?
So hot.
So hot. Well, welcome back. Your lunch is nearly ready. Having ravioli and some tomato sauce. We have hired a car and we are driving to Phoenix. I just put it in the map where we're going and it has a heat warning.
One of the reasons we decided to haul out Catalpa 2 in Puerto Penasco is it's only a 1-hour drive from the US border and a 4-hour drive away from Phoenix.
Alright, we're about to cross, well, we're in the line to cross the border over to the USA. Welcome to America!
It's hard to receive packages in Mexico, so being able to drive to the US to pick up parcels and supplies is a big bonus while trying to continue boat projects.
The reason we came, this is when we drove to Phoenix to pick up all of this goodness that's in the back of the car right now. Thank you, Total Boat. Oh my goodness. It's amazing. Thank you so much, Total Boat. We've got suits, we got Amazon orders, we got a lot of rubbish. We have a hotel for the night. We picked up our packages. Thank you to Catherine for allowing us to get our packages sent to your house. That's amazing. And now it's like 6 p.m. So we have got to be back tomorrow, unless we rent the car for another day. But we're supposed to be back by lunchtime tomorrow, which is going to be, we're going to be pushed for time. The car is a little bit packed, so we're planning on doing a grocery shop, but we'll see what we can fit in the car. We're behind schedule already, but we're at the door and it's about 7. Is it 7? So we've got 5 hours to get back to Phoenix. 5 hours to get back to Puerto Penasco.
Pushing it.
We are pushing it. Okay, we're back. Now we just got to unload within 5 minutes, 10 minutes. All our stuff that we have. Then we have a full boatload, groceries and Amazon orders. All the things we liked that were in the States that we can't get here is what's in that boot.
Once we're back, we got straight back into sanding the bottom. On the list of goodies we grabbed was sanding disc, another sander and more safety equipment. We aren't gonna lie, this job sucked, and we knew until it was done our days were going to be long and hot.
We're in the boatyard, and these long days and a lot of work to do can be a little bit demanding, so one thing that I've found really helpful is the mud water. The cordyceps help me with the natural energy levels, and the lion's mane helps me stay focused throughout all the projects I have all day to get on top of. It's been an absolute game changer for me. I've been off the coffee now for months. I'm just feeling so much more energetic, focused. And apart from all the benefits, it just tastes so good. I'm just going to keep it simple here. A little bit of honey in there, a little dash of coconut oil. I always just give it a little half fill to begin with. Alright guys, let's go get into this work and get it over and done with. So we're attacking the bottom of the boat here at Cabela's boatyard. We've been sanding for days and getting nowhere. Maybe look at stripping the bottom back and just doing it properly. We've wasted a lot of time sanding, and one of the reasons we thought we could get away with sanding was we could just go back to the gel coat and start fresh and fix the blisters, which, you know, is what people do. But in our case, I think the boat had been sandblasted and then had a hard paint on and then an ablative paint. So we're able to get back to the gel coat, but it's still all speckled of the hard paint anti-foul on the gel coat. And for us to try and get it out, it's near impossible. So we've tried to remove that and we're nearly at the gel coat. So if you come over here, we can't leave it like that and put a 2-pack epoxy primer over that because it's not going to stick. So what do we do, guys? Come around this way. You can see we've stripped back pretty much just the gel coat, and behind the gel coat is a lot of moisture. So not a lot, but you can see it sort of drying out. So it's been like 100 degrees Fahrenheit here where we are, so it's probably the best place if you're going to do a bottom job like this to dry the hull out. So, and then we'll start fresh again with a nice epoxy barrier over that, and the bum's all sealed up and should be happy days. There's still a long way to go. This was just the trial run yesterday afternoon, and
This
just
is only a couple of hours work though.
yeah.
And if you look at the boat before that, this is like a week of work. So it's going to be way quicker and way better. Huh?
Yeah, so you can see the difference in trying to sand back. We were hitting the glass anyway, trying to get all this out of there. So it just made sense just to strip it back and do it properly and put a nice epoxy barrier coat.
So you're doing a good job? Know what you're doing?
Not really. All the gear and no idea, but hey, that's what you got to do. You got to do what you got to do. There was one other option. It was the sandblast, and I think that's what had previously been done. So, but we opted to just go this way for us, in our amateur opinion on what's going on here. I was hesitant. It does seem daunting to be a big task, but I'll tell you what, when you've sanded for a week and got nowhere, we've tried all different grits of paper and it's just a nightmare. Like, I know there was an option to soda blast, we may have looked at that, but in saying that, it's all pitted underneath anyway, so I think just we'll start fresh and we know what we have. If there's any hidden surprises underneath the gel coat, we'll probably see those too. Fingers crossed there's not. But there's definitely moisture coming out from where I've started, so that's a good thing. It's so hot here and so dry, and you see very little rain, so this is the perfect place to dry out the bottom of the hull. And done properly, sealed back up with an epoxy barrier, we should have no further problems with osmosis. So providing the hull isn't damaged at any stage to let water in. But it's a gel plane, very simple, pretty much just like a timber planer really. Can be adjusted the depth to whatever thickness you want to cut off, trim off. She's an old girl, but hopefully she sees us through. Pretty much it. I'll go downstairs and set this up and show you how it works. Get into it. I've got this for a week. It was $250 to hire for the week, and I'm gonna rip into it. So anyway, I've got my suit on. I'm about to put a respirator on, earmuffs, and my glasses for eye protection. I would probably, if I was doing this again, I would have a full face mask, which just stops all the crap and it's a lot cleaner.
This looks slow, but it was a hell of a lot quicker than all of us sanding, even though Dad was the only one doing it. It was going to save us days, maybe weeks, of sanding back the hull. Dad's never done this before, but he didn't take too long to figure it out.
Alright, I've just done 2 passes here. You can see moisture and water running out of the hull. So we couldn't actually see that. That was all under the gel coat. So like I said, we're in the perfect place to dry out here, and you can see that may have been patched before. There's a little hole. It may have been a blister at one stage and they've previously just patched it, but we're going to expose it and dry it all out properly. So my opinion of sanding a hull back to bare anyway, like this seems a quicker, easier way than it is sanding. So sure, you take more material off, but our gel coat was so thin. Like I say, I think it had been sandblasted prior to us purchasing this. So I don't know, it just makes sense to get a nice thick epoxy barrier coat over it again and start fresh. I'll do as much as I can on the hull.
Yeah.
And then get as good as we can get it, wash it all down, clean our area up, and then we can start pulling off propellers, shafts, and yeah, just going for it. Projects that are going to get done in the yard, we had a big long list that we want to get done, but I think a lot of it's going to be under the water. This is our sea chest, so you know our sea chest inside the boat that acts as a manifold, so everything sort of comes out of the chest. It's, in theory, it's really good if it's done correctly. It eliminates all the through holes, and you have one in, and in the sea chest you have all your outs. This has been customized, so this isn't a bronze, this is a stainless steel plate. I don't know how old it is. It's been welded, it's had electrolysis and corrosion, and it is pitted right the whole way around the weld. If this snaps, this is like a 3-inch hole draining water into the boat. Your bilges would barely keep up with it. You'd want to make sure your bilges are really operating well for to stop that amount of water, or have a 3-inch bung. So it's going to be a big project. What we have inside is a box. There's the shape of the hull, and then we have something to go through to here, and in this case at the bottom of the hull here is this fitting. Inside the box is another skin fitting similar to this, and there's no isolation here and a join in a pipe. So I could either put a valve here, which would probably be ideal, and then you can isolate and then have it 2 skin fittings, or I can glass a pipe straight through, and this is all part of the boat, and then there's no problem either. Valves be very costly. That valve alone, a 3-inch valve, is probably going to be $1,500, and then skin fittings, where a piece of fiberglass tubing is probably going to be $100, and then a lot of my labour to glass it all in. Which is better, which is stronger, which is neater, which is going to last longer, which is the better way to do it? I don't know. But there's options, and there's no need to rush. We've got time to think about this one. What do you think? What should we do here? Because of the angle, I don't think we'll get standard fittings that will match that. But something to sleep on.
We're yet to tackle what's going on with our stagger board or the centre board. Too many projects, but first of all he's just going to clean up all the bottom and let it so it can dry out.
Clean it up first, sand it back, and we'll see what we've got to work with.
What do they say? You open up a can of worms?
It's so funny though, you can go superficial with varnishing and making everything look pretty, but little things like this, if they're not through holes and these things, and if they're not all in place properly, you're only as good as your weakest link. And in this case, this is our weak link. Always concerned me that. It's the amount of volume that can go through this.
Well, we're not going to sink out of the water, so we'll fix it before we get back in. And all the projects that were not important are just be delayed.
So to bring the hull back to this, took me 1 day to do half a side and a little bit on the other side. Prior to that, we'd done a week of sanding 4 people to try and just get to the gel coat that we found was impregnated with all the bottom paint anyway, and was so thin that it had potentially been sandblasted prior to us. And so it was just made sense to bring it back, fix anything underneath, and there was a bit of moisture underneath, so I think it was well worth fixing it properly. And do it once, you do it right, and that's it. Before we get our first hurricane. So we've never been in a hurricane, we've been in cyclones, we've been in heavy weather, we've been in all sorts of things, but we've never been in a hurricane. The hurricane's running up, so say the west coast of the Baja Peninsula, and we're on the inside, we're in Puerto Penasco. It actually shows the cell to come over us, but I doubt it. But we'll take the precautions. We've pulled down our head sail, our beautiful new precision sail, and we didn't want that damaged, nor did we want it coming out when we're on the hard stand. Tidied up all the loose bits and pieces on the boat and secured. I've been around, checked all the jacking plates and just made sure we're secure. We're actually going to be running downwind with this storm, so the position of the boat is actually pointing downwind. It's getting late. I'm just going to do the last bit. What day is it? It's Thursday. We're predicted to get the absolute force of it on Sunday. I'm looking pretty good.
My eyebrows are looking mighty dark. It looks like you've had them tinted.
I haven't been out in the sun, I've just been under the boat. Maybe it's like antifoul that's impregnated into my eyes.
I don't know, but I just noticed. They look super dark. You always have really light eyebrows.
Just dripping with sweat here at the moment. But Hurricane Hillary is about a day out. To show you guys, this is what I'm actually looking at. There it is there. This is current time. It's if you can see in there, it's 1600 hours on a Friday, and by Sunday it should be sort of up around where we are, Puerto Penasco up here. So we're expected to see anywhere from 30 to 60 knots. Who knows? Hurricanes can change, intensify, detensify.
We're a little bit worried about our bimini, but you know, at least going to tie a rope around it. We don't care about the bimini, we just care about our solar panels.
Tightening up jack stands, I'm just removing anything from the deck. I'll probably take our little, bit of a mess in here guys, I've just moved all of our tools downstairs. I'll probably even take our little battery bank that's charging at the moment back up to the house, because there's a good chance we'll lose power. So we're in Airbnb at the moment, just for, well, we've only got another week or so. But while we do have the Airbnb, I'm going to take the portable pack just in case we lose power. It's enough to charge our phone. There could be nothing, but it could be right on top of us all. So fingers crossed guys.